Dustin warned us, it's gonna be bad, my buddy, he tried to tell us. I should have seen something like this coming, to be honest. But I had hope we could maybe get a cool scrap between them. It was obvious Max was going to win, but not in this way. Despite the horrible ending, this card still delivered though. It was amazing. We had everything that makes the UFC great. It was honestly quite spectacular if I do say so myself. We had prospects getting it done. Tracy Cortez is still fine. Whittaker's move up went smoothly. Cody Garbrandt is still trash. Paddy's grappling looks unstoppable. Mario Bautista is kinda starting to become likable. And of course we had another Conor injury, which honestly might as well have been expected at this point. So let's go through all the fights. Cong Wang versus Tracy. Tracy still a sweet treat to watch, but not because of her fighting skills. I feel like in her prime she could have used her grappling to slow Wang down, but this fight was more of just Wang piecing her up consistently throughout the fight. Tracy had some takedown attempts, but they weren't significant enough to do anything. Wang was just slapping against her legs and just breaking her down until she got the decision win. There was an illegal knee from Wang, but Tracy continued, so much respect to her. It was really just a good striking showcase from Wang. Luke Riley gets it done against a solid opponent in Kamaka. Make no mistake, Kai is not a scrub, so this is a great win for Luke. He's showing great promise for the future. Nothing too much needed to be said about this one though. Just a great KO win by Luke. Cody versus Yanez. I mean, what can I even say about this one? There's always hope that Cody can pull it off like he used to in his prime, but as we have learned, that same guy no longer exists. Naturally, Cody gets rocked again and Yanez gets the first round finish. It's like I want to believe so badly, but he's cooked. The sword eye tattoo was just the final straw that broke the camel's back. Great win for Yanez. Why didn't you just retire, Cody? Come on, you can't keep doing this, it's over. Cody always looks like he's searching for something he lost on the floor as he gets KO'd. Gable Stevenson. Great UFC debut for Gable. The wrestling wasn't exactly what I expected, but his striking surprised me in a positive way. Good front kicks to the body, you can really see John Jones' influence on him. Will be interesting to see where he goes from here. They gave him a can to crush and honestly he did his job. Nice first round finish. He should take a slow climb up the division though, so we don't get another failed prospect. Whittaker Krylov. I was wondering if Whittaker was going to look super small for this one, but that man is dense. He still had his lighter man skill and he was putting it to good use. Defended all of Krylov's wrestling attempts and pieced him up. But Joe Rogan was talking like he's the fattest fighter he's ever seen. Like, it wasn't that crazy. Chill out, Joe, okay? Look at yourself, man. In the third round, he hit 2 right hands which stung Krylov and broke his jaw to end it. And Whittaker got a standing TKO win. I was worried he was gonna get slapped in front of his 6 kids, but it seems Rob has it figured out. But come on, Rob, you really need to start using some protection. Mckinney versus Green. I knew this one was going to be impossible to predict. Mckinney never fails to disappoint. I swear, in the first minute he looks like an absolute unbeatable force of nature, and as soon as you get past those early minutes he completely vanishes. Bobby survives his early onslaught and finishes him at the end of the first with his craftiness. I thought maybe they could have ended the round and continued in round 2, but it was clear Bobby was going to destroy him later on. He really had Bobby in a rear naked choke almost at the start of round 1, but then Bobby just stood up and Mckinney gave up after like 3 shots that Bobby landed. It almost seemed weird how Mckinney just folded. I feel like there was something sneaky with these two going on with this fight. They were even best buds after the fight. So it's a little suspicious. Kavanagh versus Royval. The flyweights always deliver, man. One of the best scraps of the night. Kavanagh looks so good at the start of every fight. He just has the perfect style to look at. So quick and explosive. But Brandon is a tricky one always. In round 2, Kavanagh caught him and almost finished him, but came up short. Brandon has that dog in him and can pull through anything. In round 3, Loner wobbled him again, but Royval shot a takedown in Kavanagh, jumped a guillotine, and Brandon subs him from there. Was quite a foolish move by Loner, but I feel like he can bounce back from this. Royval made him work with constant pressure, and in the end he outpaced him to a submission win. Cory versus Bautista. To start, they were both quite equally matched, but then end of the first, Mario had him in a leg lock situation and Cory did a weird limp getting back up. His foot seemed pretty destroyed after the first. Second round, Cory was doing much better and won the round. I thought it was 1-1 going into the third, but the 2 rounds could go anyway. And in round 3, Mario shows his improvement since their first meeting, rocks Cory at the start of the third and just pounds him while laying on top of him to secure the tough win after the close through first rounds. Solid win for Mario, 29-28. The biceps on this guy are crazy though. Paddy St. Denis. Paddy the baddie makes it look easy. He's a monster in the grappling.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
God damn, that Darce was phenomenal. Mounted Darce immediately as St. Denis shoots on him. The worst thing you can do while fighting Paddy is to shoot on him and fail it, because this man will wrap around you like an anaconda and pull off some crazy submission. And St. Denis learned this the hard way. How good is just engage him, man. Never shoot on Paddy because you will get subbed badly. The level of concentration on Paddy's face was hilarious though. He was squeezing the shit out of that motherfucker. Benoit looked super spooked when he woke up from the sub. He's definitely going to have nightmares after this one. Conor versus Max. It was a perfect night. You could have given us seconds, like a round of fighting, and it would have been flawless. Could have given Max the win with a nice first round knockout, but no. Immediately entering the ring, Conor fucked his ACL up. I knew this card was too good to be true. The fights leading up to this were too good for the main event to have worked out as well. It just seemed so anticlimactic. But hey, at least we got to see Conor back, even if it was just for an awkward minute. Dustin warned us though, this was going to be bad. I knew Conor was going to start with a crazy kick of sorts, but no idea it was going to blow up his knee. I knew immediately when he was taking off his shoes, something was very sus with Conor. He just didn't have that confidence. Something was lacking. It's like his aura was gone. It's possible that it was the 5-year layoff that made him a little bit nervous, but he just didn't seem like himself. Maybe he had this injury from before, but he claims it happened in the fight. We can never know though. I swear when I saw that mohawk, something seemed really fishy to me. No way this was going to work out. He was showing glimpse of prime Darren Till in there. Why Conor, why? Just let us have a Conor fight. I guess this is better because he didn't get knocked out at least and his fight image isn't ruined too much because he lost, but he didn't get beaten up and it wasn't Max who caused the finish. Conor might just be too injury prone at this point to continue. He was throwing the same kick too warming up. I feel like if he already had an injury, he wouldn't be throwing that kick. So maybe it did just randomly happen, which I feel like is the worst outcome of this. What do you even do with Max and Conor? Do you give them a rematch? I have no idea. Maybe give Conor Chandler and just move Max along the line, but does he stay at 170 or does he go back to 155? I guess we're gonna have to find out. I honestly feel like they're gonna go with the trilogy. I guess this is also the best time to maybe make Paddy versus Topuria, because Paddy's stock has really risen, but Topuria has fallen down a bit, and I feel like at this moment they're quite equally matched, at least in terms of fans' perceptions. I also think Whittaker looks ready to continue his 205 run. Cody Garbrandt, please retire. Luke Riley, give him someone better, maybe even someone ranked. Gable Stevenson, nice, give him another can to crush. I want his build up to be slow. Cong Wang also looks like a nice up and coming contender. Feel like she could challenge for the title quite soon. Bautista has become insane. He's also very close to the title. Give him one more top 5 and I feel like he's ready. A huge step back for Cory on this one. Honestly, with the way he has been fighting in his recent fights, he might even be more boring than Bautista at this point, so honestly, I'm happy Mario won. But yeah, insane night of fights. I'm really satisfied, but if it wasn't for the anticlimactic finish, this might have been the best fight card in UFC recent history. Really hoping Conor can maybe recover from this and come back for one more fight. His fights always bring a certain hype that no other fighter can recreate, and I like to see the hype of the UFC be as high as possible.